So here's what I want to focus on. 3 things, okay? Image, theme, and specifics. First, image. Last week, Newt Gingrich, he gave debate advice to Mitt Romney. Now, say what you will about Newt Gingrich, but he's a great debater. Just ask him. But he channeled Mike Deaver. Mike Deaver was Ronald Reagan's famous media advisor, and he channeled Mike Deaver in saying, TV, and make no mistake now, debates are TV events, break down like this: 85, 10, and 5. Deaver said 85% of TV is visual. It's how you look. Do you look confident, prepared? 10%, that's how you say something, the tone in which your words are presented. And only 5%, I'm sorry, but unfortunately 5% is what you have to say. Now, I don't know if this is exact science. I don't know if these percentages are right to the number, but I can tell you this has played out in a couple of elections and actually swung at least 2. First, in 1960, a young, tan senator named John F. Kennedy went into his first debate with a calm, cool demeanor. At that time, he was trailing the vice president Republican candidate Richard Nixon by 1 point. Now, Nixon, he showed up looking a little haggard. He'd stayed up the night before, cramming for the debates, and he chose not to wear makeup against the advice of his TV advisors. So Nixon spent a lot of time fidgeting, and he came across as nervous. Now, where JFK came across as charismatic and confident, making up what many saw as an experience gap between the two. And the polls tell the story. Following that third debate, Kennedy was ahead by 4 points. Now, that's the visual 85%. Now, let me give you evidence of that 10%, that power of how you say something. Back in 2000, Vice Presidential candidate Al Gore, he had an 8-point lead. That is not small. 8-point lead going into the debate over Republican candidate George W. Bush. Now, during that debate, Al Gore awkwardly walked over to Bush, kind of lorded over him, and came across as condescending. Throughout that whole debate, he was heard sighing over many of Bush's responses. And what happened after that third debate? Well, look at the polls. The polls bounced in Bush's favor and showed him ahead by 4 points. He went on to win that very, very tight election, as we know. Finally, that brings you to that 5% of what you actually say. But I want to come back to that in just a moment. Move over here from image to theme. Instead, I want to talk about theme. Now, many conservatives want to hear Mitt Romney get aggressive, to go after President Obama, kind of rattle his cage over his failures. But look, if I'm right that he has to get that independent 12%, then the trick is to do that while remaining likable. In order to do that, I think Mitt Romney's going to have to adopt some kind of Ronald Reagan-style Morning in America optimism. Now, it's no secret that the economy is going to be the focal point tonight. And last night, my friend S.E. Cupp on Real News laid out the status of the economy. She pointed out how the Obama economy has hit record levels of poverty, extreme poverty among women, unemployment among black men. But I don't think Mitt Romney should spend too much time getting into a blame game with President Obama. I would suggest Mitt Romney should say something kind of like this. Let's not play the blame game. Let's not look backwards. No, let's look forwards. President Obama, you've had your chance. You're promising more of the same. Me, I'm a turnaround artist. I've done it throughout my career. I turned around the failing Salt Lake City Olympics. I turned around the state of Massachusetts. And I turned around company after company at Bain Capital. It's time for a turnaround in this country. And, well, that's what I do. That should be Romney's theme, the turnaround artist.